people say, oh, facilitator. That brings up a whole bunch of different things for people. And some people don't even really, quite frankly, know what a facilitator is. But a facilitator is really somebody who just makes group processes easier.
How does a person answer why something happens?
When you look at the findings in different fields,
scant is the part of life in which we live.
To attain the highest values.
So it's a passion and something that you've just dedicated your life to. And I think especially I referred to the pandemic earlier, thousands and thousands of hours of now online facilitation in the last year and a half. Let's unpack the term facilitation for people who maybe don't quite have a grasp for its role. I think you mentioned these two people that came in and you saw the sort of the impact that they had in that early program you're involved in. The content wasn't changing, right? They were coming in and doing something else. How could you, if you like deconstruct what was it that they were doing that made the content suddenly more engaging and impactful?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's something that I was like very keen to learn more about, because from the outside it looks a little kind of magical. You know, these people kind of come in and they do some dynamics and that kind of thing and get people excited, but there's a whole method behind facilitation. So facilitation up to now, I would say, and still is kind of like this niche-y thing. People say, oh, facilitator. That brings up a whole bunch of different things for people, and some people don't even really, quite frankly, know what a facilitator is. But a facilitator is really somebody who just makes group processes easier. And in the context of the work that I do, the facilitators, for example, that were working with those young people, they had techniques of creating a very safe space, a psychologically safe space for people to then be able to take risks, to experiment, to share their ideas, which is where the real learning takes place. So you're right, the content didn't change, but it's these facilitation methods that they wrapped around. So for example, at the very beginning of the session, you know, instead of people kind of just being off in the corner and, you know, wandering in, which is what a lot of these, you know, youth programs, you know, it's kind of hard to get everybody kind of into the room. They had the room set up, ready to go. It looked like it had been prepared. They had chairs in a circle. They invited people to come in. In a circle means that everyone can see each other. They had these exercises from the very beginning that got all the voices in the room. So for example, just a quick introduction right around the circle, just saying your name and kind of, you know, your favorite color or whatever it was. It accomplished creating like a space where it wasn't like you were walking in cold and then being asked to do things. You were slowly warming up. And what they did really well as well was just lower the bars of resistance. So making it really easy from the very beginning for every single person in the group to contribute at something. And then what they would do is they would start turning up the heat. So once people start to feel comfortable and they're kind of engaged in the process, they are more likely to participate and engage after that.